Flight boss, bitch. You're now listening to the Mind of an Antares Moon. I'm the Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And yeah, they know the motherfucking difference. We know the difference. I know what this is about. And right now we're gonna talk about motherfucking life purpose. Life purpose. This ain't sitting high enough. Oh well, you know what I'm saying? Life purpose. Now, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of ways you can find your life purpose. Some people do it spiritually. Some people do it through their soul and how they feel and their emotions. And some people do it through the things that they see and the things that they're into as far as their actions and this, that, and the third. So there's a lot of different ways. There's not actually one way. There's a lot of different systems to find it. And there's a lot of different high frequency vibrations ways to do it. And there's a whole bunch of lower frequency vibration ways to do it. So you know what I'm saying? It's all about, like, for an example, for a person who's not into astrology, then a lot of times they'll do it through whatever spiritual system they go through. You know what I'm saying? For a person who's not spiritual, you know what I'm saying, they'll do it through physical things or things that they can see or add and put together, like as far as this physical realm and scientific methods and stuff like that. And you know, a person from the soul, you know what I'm saying, the way they feel, if they're not attached to no religious program or anything like that, then a lot of times they may go into depth of the emotions and the feelings, and you know, want to disclose and exclude the fact that there may be a God or there may not be a God, but at the same time they just want to connect to what makes them feel good. So a lot of these people, if it makes them feel better to not believe in God, they'll go that way. So that's people who's working on their emotional soul or something like that, and if they're not into anything else. You know what I'm saying? So right here also, what you want to say, like, if you want to talk about it in the astrological method, we can do it like that. Now here's a broad perspective. When you want to talk about the life purpose, life path, life situation for what's actually going on, here's what actually can happen. You know what I'm saying? When you want to look at you want to check and take a look at your houses, right? You want to go and take a look at your houses. Now, once you take a look at your houses, you're going to look at your first house. Now, your first house is the ascendant. Your first house is your personality and your personal issues. When we talk about it being in your ascendant, we talk about it as being your personality, your aura, your charisma, and what people pick up from you when they first initially get into your presence. Now, when we talk about it as being your first house, that's as far as your personal issues, your personal life, personal people you know, personal insecurities, and a lot of things you're going to be personally going through. Things that's personally to you. The I am house. So right here, one way in this frequency, in a lower density way to know your life path is to know where the first house ruler is lies at. Now, first of all, it's important to know what is your first house. Second of all, it's important to know what planet rules your first house. Then when we're talking about life path, it's important to know where the ruler of your first house, which is the planet, is what house is it at. For an example, say your first house was Gemini, then your first house ruler is going to be Mercury. So wherever house Mercury lies in is going to take your first house, which is I am, who you are on this earth, and it's going to place that into a house. You know, each house is a life situation. If you don't know anything about the 12 houses, you can go on my videos. I have a playlist, and you can go see what all the houses mean. But as far as this video right here, whatever house your first house lord falls in is going to take that first house, which is you. That's your personality, which you should be personally doing, which should be personally in your life. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's for good or bad, it's something that you need to experience in this lifetime in order to, and ultimately it's positive. It goes in, you know what I'm saying, wherever door it needs to go into, and then don't see blockages when you actually align yourself with this energy. Now, you know, like I said, for an example, if your first house Gemini or Virgo for that matter, the first house ruler, the first house lord is going to be Mercury. So wherever Mercury falls in, that means what happens here is it takes your first house qualities, which is the most important, and it places it into the life situation that it needs to be in to present itself in order to do what it's supposed to do in this space-time and continuum we are right now. So this placement alignment has nothing to do with the past. It has nothing to do with the future, like the North Node or anything like that. Or it has nothing to do with the past, like the North Node again, and your moon and things like that. This is solely has something to do with your purpose of here now in the present, like the sun. When you wake up and you go outside and look at the sun is here now. That's your your first house Lord is what you're going to do now. So now when you do that, right, that's going to tell you what you should be personally doing and what life situation you should be personally putting energy to, as far as your personal issues, your personality, your creativity, you know what I'm saying, all your essence, right? Now, the secondary thing is the sun. So wherever the sun is at, that's how you're going to actually do it. And this is why Leo rising signs may be able to receive intention a lot faster than others, because if the Leo is in the first house, the sun actually rules Leo, and then the sun is exalted in the first house. But that's another video. But the sun rules Leo. So what happens here is wherever the sun is at, first of all, it's going to be your life purpose, and it's going to be actually how you do your life purpose. So when you don't, if you don't have a Leo rising, so I mean that's not to say they're better than anybody else. You know what I'm saying? It's just to say that, and I'm a Leo rising, so I can tell you up front, I'm no better than none of y'all. You know what I'm saying? So it's not about that. Which the actual issue is that they just can get an attention. But like I said, it could be for good or bad. The attention that they may get may be bad. Now, when we talk about the sun in general, that's how you're gonna actually, that's how you actually supposed to do it. So for an example, like I said, I will say your first house Gemini, right, and then or Virgo. So that means your ruler of that sign is Mercury. So the first house Lord, let's say in the house, let's put it into the fourth house. You know what I'm saying? First thing that popped in my head, fourth house. So right here, your personal issues and your personality should be geared towards domestic issues, domestic matters, family matters, serious matters, wherever you feel most comfortable at, or wherever you can out and release, or wherever you can have others do the same. So a lot of people with this placement are like nurses, or people who take care of older folks, or people who may you know what I'm saying, even doctors, or something that has to do with residents and taking care of residents. You may be even good at real estate personally without even knowing it. But like to say, these are things you actually have to get into. You have to put in work to know what's going on. You just can't be like, oh, that's what I'm supposed to do, and think all glory and light and gold floors are supposed to walk open for you. No. Once you know this, you have to dive into these realms of reality and actually start to jump rope. And when I say jump rope, that means to start to play with energy, start to do the law of attraction, start to do all the other metaphysic things, but in that realm of reality. And you will see doors open up in those realms faster than others. For an example, like I said, if you got the first house Lord in the fourth house, what happens here is, if you're good at real estate or whatever like that, say you're trying to be a race car driver, you may experience a lot of people who don't even really know how to race car drive, and you may have practiced all your life. But what happens here is you're going to see them get a lot further than you, and you're going to always experience that. When if you just knew what you were supposed to do, you may experience that, but less experiences of that, less rejections. So when you do get into real estate, or you do get into caring or nursing homes or things like that, you're able to take over. You're able to is a way easier access for you to do what you have to do. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times it may play out as things that you may not want to do, because your Venus and Mars may be in different placements. But that's another video. But you know what I'm saying? All your placement and planetary alignments is who you are, and the basic obstacles you deal with every day. So the obstacles is not external, it's internal. So anything you feel like you can't do on the outside, it must be something that started with you feeling like you can't do that in the inside first. It always starts in the inside. Remember that. That's why the moon sign is most important. And the sun sign is too. And your rising sign is too. It's just out of the three, the moon is most important. But all three of these is initial to your life. Then Mercury. Then Venus. You know what I'm saying? Then Mars. And then after that, it's on a lighter note when it comes to Jupiter and Saturn, and then an even lighter note when it comes to Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. But you know what I'm saying? You get what I'm trying to say. So, you know what I'm saying? It could be any planetary alignment. You could be a Libra rising. So your first house ruler is Venus. So wherever Venus at is where your personality. Say you have the first house Lord in the 9th house. You are here to be a teacher. Say you have the first house Lord in the 10th house. You're here to build. You're here to create a foundation for businesses. Say your first house lord in the 11th house, you're here to conduct yourself in the public in some type of way. Say your first house lord is in the 12th house, you're here to help people with the subconscious. You might have psychic awarenesses that others may not have, that you can place somewhere. Say you have the first house lord in the 5th house, you're here to personally express yourself and create all forms of entertainment for others, or build a foundation for people can do that for you. And you know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? And then wherever the sun is at is how you actually going to do that. So say for an example, we go back to the Gemini or the Virgo rising, so the Mercury, the first house lord in the 4th house. So like I said, that there was real estate and things like that, and real estate and how you get things done. So how you're going to actually get that done, you have to find where the sun is at. Now say the sun is in the 6th house. So the 6th house is going to, the sun is going to tell you put action on day-to-day routine. Make sure you put actions on things to do on a day-to-day basis, scheduling, planning, you know what I'm saying, prophesizing what's actually going to come out if you notice something the right way, working towards it, working towards the goal. Now whatever the goal is, if the sun is in the 6th house, it's telling you to do that. Now if you know the goal is to deal with something that deals with nursing homes or real estate or something like that, then that will be something that you need to work on every day. And once you get the 6th house clear, it'll be all open access for your life path, for your first house ruler, your first house lord, and whatever house is in. You know what I'm saying? So that's like a little technique of how you can kind of find a little bit of your life purpose. But it's more than that. There's a lot of other planetary alignments that play into part, but this is the main one, how you can kind of figure out a little bit of what you should be doing, you know what I'm saying, or what you should not be doing. And it's in that realm of reality. So, you know what I'm saying, this is a little quick video, you know what I'm saying. Happy Flight Miss Eve. Flight Miss Eve. It's science into those words I just said, but you know what? Flight bossing this motherfucker, and you know what I'm saying, that's just a little density, and I'm gonna make a few more videos of how you can find it spiritually, how you can find it through your soul, and how you can find it through the physical. Flight boss, bitch, you know, for sure. Goddamn, air.